trying to understand why things are the way they are. However, there is nothing we need to do at this time other than to be patient and persevering. We can cling to the awareness that we are processing the shift from one stage to another. And the more we surrender to the experience, the more quickly we will move through the tightness of the opening on the other side. Just like a baby making its way down through the birth canal, we may feel squeezed and pushed and very uncomfortable. But if we remember that we are on our way to being born into a new reality, we might find the strength to carry on. Even as we endure the contractions, we can find peace within ourselves if we remember to trust the universe. Oh, that's a big if, isn't it? Remembering that is a big if. We can look to the natural world for inspiration as we see that all beings surrender to the process of being born. And in that surrender, and in the center of our own hearts, is a willingness to trust the unknown as we make our way through the opening. Well, there's another biggie, isn't it? Trusting in the unknown. World. So much of what we learn in school and what we practice at work and what we dedicate our energies to is about trying to minimize or eliminate the unknown. Not embracing or accepting it, but defining it and basically making it go away. And of course we never can truly do that, because the unknown is maybe the biggest part of life. Even when we think we know what we know, oftentimes it's not what we think it is. So, here are some questions that are good ones, by the way. And this is something that I've gotten quite a bit from people. If you think positive thinking can control my anxiety, you obviously just don't understand how serious my anxiety is. So, I think that's an interesting point. Because, you're just wasting your time if you're reciting positive thoughts, with air quotes, that you don't believe. If you're just saying these words, that's not going to do anything. What does help cure the anxiety is changing your distorted thinking, changing the thinking and replacing it with something that is more realistic, perhaps more rational, and along the way then more positive. And that's not to at all denigrate or dismiss the reality of the anxiety and the depth of it. It's not about thinking positive thoughts so much as it is changing the way you see things. And sometimes words can help you do it by reframing something in a way that makes you look at it differently. But, if you have a reaction of, disbelief to, perhaps you come across an affirmation that someone says is helpful for anxiety, and it doesn't really resonate with you, well, then that's not going to work for you. So let it go, and you can find something else. You can find a different way to change your thinking. So those are things to keep in mind too. I think accepting it and letting it go may be the best way to begin to think about it. If you have severe anxiety, with panic attacks and that sort of thing, and perhaps you've seen a doctor about it, and medication is prescribed. Sometimes that medication is worse than the anxiety itself. It doesn't cure the anxiety, it just masks it. And plus, on top of that, then you have the side effects of the medications, which can be, some of them, actually fatal. So let's look quickly, we'll go over quickly as we wrap up the show. A way of getting yourself into the relaxation response that we've talked about quite a bit on this show. So let's try a relaxation technique here. Perhaps breathing. And starting from the top of your head, imagining a ball of white light and energy, cleansing energy that slowly moves from your head to your shoulders, down to your belly, through each arm, and through each leg, and into your feet, and your toes, and your fingers. And as this light cleanses you, you begin to feel lighter. And you notice that you're beginning to glow a little with energy. Meanwhile, the tiredness, the stress, the heavier feelings get swept away by this light. And as they do, you expand the light that is now coming from you. And you expand it out into the room you're in, out into the building you're in, further out into the neighborhood, and out into perhaps the county, the state that you're in, and expand it as far as you can. Expand it out into the universe. See how that feels, how that expansion feels. And then, when you're ready, you can begin to bring yourself back to your body. back to your physical form. Feel your arms, legs, chest, and head. And if you've had your eyes closed, which I hope you did, you can open them now and move back into your world, and hopefully you're feeling more energetic, more positive, and less stressed. It's been my pleasure to share this meditation and others with you. It's been my pleasure to share my thoughts and perspective on news and information and wellness tips. I don't know when the next show will be. I don't know if I will be able to come back to the show. I suspect that I will, just because I will need to. It's a healing process for me to do the show and to put it out in the world, even if nobody is listening, and it doesn't make me a dime. Even so, I know it's something that I have a need to do. But as of the moment, I am not sure when the next show will be, so this may be the last one for a while. Until I do speak with you again, I hope that you are able to take that step back and look at your life, look at your world from the highest possible level. And make an understanding for yourself of how powerful you are, how powerful we are, and how we create all of our experiences and can